Hello, my name is Ronaldo Perez, and I felt that it was important to discuss some things about society today in this world. Um, I know that there's been a lot of talk on YouTube about black hat people, shadow people, the Illuminati, the Antichrist, and I know that some of the people that had involved themselves with such things have died or disappeared and were never seen again, or something's always happened to them. First of all, what has happened in these last days, the last 4 or 5 years? 2012 was supposed to be the end of the world according to the Aztec calendar, and what really happened? I mean, for people that had accurately mapped out the constellations and stars to with such accuracy that even amazes our scientists today. Could they be wrong, or did perhaps the people of this earth and the world today ended? To be a mortal, to be a man, one has to have a soul, one has to have a spirit, and one has to have a body in order to be human or to be a person. Are we missing something within our proportions of being human? Did we actually come? Did our portions of spirit and soul actually come to an end? These are questions we should ask ourselves. Is there some portion of us that has actually ended? I remember when I was younger, I once thought that my soul wasn't important. I didn't know what it was. As I got older, I realized something, that there was a portion of me, inside me, that was an emotional being. It had emotional responses that were important to me. I had sentiments, I had feelings. I concerned myself with other things other than myself. As I got older, I realized I did have a soul. But for the most part, it took a lot of achievement to concern myself with such things, and I want to retain my soul. If I do have one, I want to continue to have one. And what about the Antichrist? Does he have a soul? I often wondered at these things. I believe there's such people in society today that are they could fly under the flag of kite. Somebody that concerns themselves with charging direct interest against your soul and against your mind as soon as he can. He feels that it's his first priority to charge you for a discussion, to charge you for you living on this planet today. We need to concern ourselves with such things, because people charging you for your existence as a mortal human being is wrong. The Bible says, if I may use that book as a point of interest, the Bible says that the God makes the sun shine on the good and the not so good. Good being a general mortal feeling of who we are with God. Upright is a better word. This is we should know that God makes the sun shine. He allows us to exist, whether what we've done was wrong or right. He gives us a chance to make a decision, and that's rather kind of him, I believe. What about the Antichrist? I believe he's in the world today. He's a general. I believe it's a general conscious. Remember, if you do know anything about the Bible, that the 666 of the beast is on the frontal lobe of a man. The frontal lobe. That he's concerned more about logic rather than sediments of feeling. Kind of a cold-blooded person. The frontal lobe is where the number is. We're on the right hand. The right hand is what we give in confidence when we make a deal or when we concern ourselves with feelings towards another human being. Even common ground concern for each other. We shake each other's hand. Do we take? It's as if we have taken this person into confidence somehow in our minds and in our hearts and in our feelings. So it's almost as if the Antichrist is here as a general consciousness of mortal beings. I like that commercial that says, "I hear voices," and the person says, "Oh, we're in California," something along those lines. I know that everybody can or cannot hear and see voices, or don't concern themselves with those voices or too much. The fact of it is that for the general idea, it has been a concern. Or the voices and hearing things was only a concern of the great men of this earth. That's a truth that I want to share with you also, that not everybody's going to hear voices and stuff like that. Great men such as King David. If you read the first Psalms in the Bible, where it discusses the great kings of this earth have sought to destroy me. I'm not quoting it verbatim, but if you look up in the first Psalms, you'll see that he saw something that other people just couldn't see. He understood something that other people couldn't understand. That all the kings of the earth had come against him? How is it that all the kings of the earth had come against him if he was just in one place, at one time, in one instant, and they had all gathered against him? Was it not in the place of the human mind? We need to concern ourselves with such things. We all haven't attained this type of enlightenment, and if we have attained this type of enlightenment, who from? Who gave us light and insight? Who has entered the Garden of Eden and opened it again? Remember, in the Garden of Eden, there's an eternal angelic being guarding that Garden of Eden, and we can't trespass against such things without receiving judgment. And that Garden of Eden is our mind and consciousness, I believe, as well as a physical garden and place. Such things like this are a concern to me, and they should be a concern to you. I would listen to people that have a greater knowledge that surpasses that of human understanding, without having an idea what's really going on and what the score is with God. There is a God. We just didn't appear out of nowhere, and there is a right and there is a wrong and there is a devil. I mean, there's a spiritual being that does exist to destroy and take away from us whatever existence we have in life. So I thought I would discuss some of these things with you. Another one is the consciousness of man. That we are in some way linked together. In Thailand, they have a terracotta which is called the churning of the Milk Sea. And in the Bible, we have a Leviathan who dwells in an ocean. What does this mean? This means that our consciousness are that ocean, that we exist together to form a water, a stream, an ocean of consciousness. And the devil himself is that sea monster, Leviathan, and he just can't come out of the water, and we just can't swim out to him as much as we'd like to. We're an ocean of consciousness together. So consider the things that your own mind brings about in our life. We reap what we sow when we think. If we think too much about the devil, things will happen. And especially if it's out of the will of God, and it is not part of that consciousness and ocean. So we need to think what is right and what is true in order to anchor ourselves in reality. What about our spirit? The human spirit is a spirit of achievement. It does not. It shouldn't depend upon other people. When we depend on other people, we show that we don't have any spirit. We lack spirit, or we can't have any spirit ever again. That we've done something that offended our own spirit. We need spirit to achieve things. It presses us forward. It drives and motivates us. It is the anthem in which mortal man sings victory in life, in existence. We need our spirit to press forward. If anything else pushes us along in this life, it is not a spirit, but the spirit of a false prophet or antichrist. Anti being against, and Christ being the general goal of achievement, like Buddha, or in the nation of Islam, it would be like, well, we know, I don't know too much about Islam, but it would be a higher being, a greater being, the greatest being that ever lived. Remember, it is said that Jesus is the only one that really lived and never conquered death. True story. I believe it. It falls well within, literaturely speaking, it falls well within, well, how would you say this? Within my realm of belief. I mean, I've studied the Bible and concerned myself with the Bible, and I've read many stories, both true and false. And it falls within the realm of belief, looking at the things that it talks, looking at what the Bible talks about, and the things that have taken place, and then looking at archaeology and places where things have existed once. And the Bible falls within the place of believing that this man actually existed, and that the prophets actually existed. And God has shown me things along those lines. I've seen things and understood things, and God has helped me to believe such things. I'm not asking you to all jump up at once and raise your hands. You want to be saved and part of God's kingdom, because God's kingdom is not that place right now that a lot of people don't have to realize that there's a lot of things in the kingdom that are not right with God. As you read some of the parables and some of the scriptures and some of the things that Jesus had shared, that the people that were inside the kingdom were terrible. And as you look at the Bible, there was corruption within God's house and within God's kingdom here on earth. That is, not in heaven. Heaven is yet uncorrupted, and mankind has yet to conquer the human mind. If you like this video, you could send me an email, or if you have any questions about anything pertaining, there's a lot of things that I do have an understanding of. That I'm not a rocket scientist, but I have been around, and I'd like to share. My email is patperez@gmail.com. God bless you, and may you come to a place where you begin to understand, and be safe. Keep yourself safe from people, and don't let them in to your conscious mind as much as you'd like to call them your friends. Goodbye.